Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Monday, January the 24th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading, problem solving, part 9. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. We've been talking about various aspects of trading problems and some solutions. One of the things is a lot of traders, focus on the chart and trying to get the chart right, trying to get the right combination of indicators, trying to tweak their system, and all that being said, as I've mentioned before, once you put the trade on, none of that matters. It just really, really, really doesn't matter. The things that you can control after you put a trade on is basically how much you lose. That's the one thing you can control over, barring unforeseen circumstances. But, you have your stop loss, et cetera, and hopefully you honor it. You know, Beyond that, before you put the trade on, the one thing you can control is the position size. So when you combine those two, you have to make sure your position size and stop loss are such that based on your method, you can trade within those parameters and not get taken out of the game. Because if your position size is way too big and you have a couple losers in a row, you could be just pretty much knocked out of the game. And of course, you don't want that to happen. So that's just something you need to focus on more so than what indicators or what method. Once again, it comes back to you because you can have 10 traders trading the same method and you're going to get 10 different results most likely. Because humans aren't robots. You could put the same EA out there 10 times and pretty much you're going to get the same result, maybe with a couple of pip difference just based on execution, speed, etc. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. We're in this last full week of this month, full trading week. And you can see the pound is 73 pips below the monthly open, 295 off the high and 24 off the low. As far as the week goes, you can see we're just put in another bottom here, 3 pips off the low, 111 pips, 112 pips off the high, and 96 pips below that weekly open. As you can see, we didn't hit the pivot yet, and price is heading down towards the 40s. Oh, one thing to note here on this weekly chart, look where price is right now. You can see it's right there hitting that top. It's in this wick zone here. It broke out of this wick zone and this wick zone, and all the gaps have filled. Okay. Right now, looking at the daily, we're putting in that opening range. We're within the opening range for the month right here. And you look to the left, you can see we're that first day of the month, we're in that wick zone. So we'll have to see what happens here. Once again, for the year, 23 pips off that yearly low. 74 pips, 75 pips off the yearly open, down into the 50s, 34 50s. We are coming up against the only 18 pips away from that monthly inside bar that happened 3 months ago. That's huge. You can see we broke out of the last week's inside bar at 35.45. 116 pip range. So finally got some range. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs over 100 pips in range at the moment. Buy zone, there was a trigger earlier in the day. We crossed that daily weekly open, but then has been pretty much short ever since. I mean, you just look at all the red here. Red rats didn't really have a chance to feast. There wasn't enough range at the moment. Green rats are looking to feast. We are down to the daily S4, weekly S2. That's huge, huge move to the downside for you pivot traders. Missed pivots. We missed today's pivot by 2 pips. Missed Friday's pivot by 14. So we got some missed pivots, but look at the week. We missed this week, and 4 weeks ago we missed that pivot. So we're kind of hanging out here in no man's land as far as the pivots go. Wick zone, straight out of the Friday wick zone. That was a huge move. You look at it on a 1-hour chart, just was like in and out. Looking at the higher low, lower high scalper, you can see we had a huge, huge drop there. That looks like a return bar to me. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Oh, looking at you can see the ranges here, H1 27 pips range. So just have to wait patiently to get a trigger if you want to take the lower high, which should probably be right here when this candle closes in less than a minute. And we're in the 40s, which is the launch pad. At least I like to call it the launch pad. You can see the Walmart line, 34.70. If you took that trade, paid off nicely. Also the break of the previous H1 low, 20 pips up there. You can see here, big range, 29, 36 pip range 5 hours ago. Notice all the red. Just push down further. And we shot right through the ATR zone. And that's definitely a huge move. And as you can see, we haven't been taking out any of the highs. And as far as this chart goes, there's no lows to take out. I think if I scrunch it, we might be able. Nope. That's how far back the indicator would have to go to see if there's any lows to be taken out. And we can look here on H1. We've got a low here at 34.60 that hasn't been taken out. Looking to the left. And the training wheels was cautioning all along to be caution if you're long. Take caution going long against these candle colors. $33 pip range now on the hour. And you can see here below the ATR zone. Let's see, we crossed below the low. We're in the lower rat zone. On the whole low, we're 27 pips off the H1 highest open. So there's a long. We're putting in the low this hour. and the ATR say it's okay to buy, looking for a reversal. So this is when the green rats would have to sit here, maybe shift down to M5, look for a reversal. But, methods like these, once again, it's important that you have the right position size. And your stop loss is in place. I'm trying to think, were there any questions? I don't think there was any questions out there. I said I had a request to modify somebody else's code, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that anytime soon because of the way they wrote the code. It was pretty, they used the local variables as opposed to calling a function, and it just makes it a lot harder, especially if you want to switch time frames. They wanted to have make it a multi time frame indicator. The other thing about solving trading problems is anxiousness, being overly anxious to jump back in a trade. I was looking at my trades the other day, and I told Walmart, I said, I think I see one thing. I get out of a trade, and within 2 bars, I'm back in. And sometimes it's just best to say maybe you just move up a couple of time frames. So if you're at M5, move up to M30, and it will really slow you down, because right now it's saying, nope, you can't go long. The only trade you have is a short, which would have been a nice breakout here, or right at the open, breaking the previous M30 low. And even though you're in the rat zone, it's like, no trade really. So you just sit there and wait, because you'll get a signal. You will get a signal. And what will happen is that maybe there's going to be some choppy motion here. By the time you get a clear signal, you don't get chopped up so bad, or you don't get any chop at all. And it's just something to be aware of. And as you can see, price has moved out of the launch pad. It's already up to 57, and it was all the way down to 43. So once again, the launch pad paid off. And that's just an observation that I've had, that price, when it hits that 40 level, especially if it comes up to the 40, it usually runs all the way up to the 60. And so we're only 3 pips away. Actually hit a high of 58.7, so that was 1.3 pips away. Just something to be aware of. So, fellow traders, if you have any trading problems you'd like me to discuss, maybe if Walmart's on the line, we both can discuss it, feel free to contact me, and we'll see if we can help you out. Because, when you're sitting down in front of your trading platform and you're getting ready to trade, you just have to remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And this is the Rumpled One, over and out.